Hi, my name is Addie Smith.
Hi, Mia Lawrence. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so what job are you applying for today?
Today I'm applying for the 615 Renovate marketing position.
Okay, great. What are some of your strengths?
I would say some of my strengths are communication as well as being able to work really well with people and time management.
Okay. What are some of your weaknesses?
I would say some of my weaknesses are being a little too critical on myself and being a people pleaser. Because of these things, I tend to work a little bit longer or harder trying to make everyone happy.
Okay. How would your current or last boss describe you?
My last boss would describe me as a very happy person who's also very disciplined and ready to get her work done.
Great. What were your boss's responsibilities?
So my boss was a doctor, and her responsibilities were to get patients from the waiting room back into the rooms to be seen, thoroughly assessed, and then leaving with what they needed and a positive experience.
Okay. What is your opinion of your last boss?
I love my last boss. She taught me so much, not just from the medical field, but she taught me a lot of skills that are useful in life in any job that I'll have.
How would your coworkers or subordinates describe you professionally?
They would describe me also as a very happy person. The number one thing I remember them telling me is that I always brought in a really good attitude and a smile every day, and that's something that really sticks with me.
Okay. Why do you want to work for us?
I want to work for you all because I really love the environment of the business and how you all take care of your employees, as well as the volunteer opportunities for us to be able to give back to the community.
Okay. So why do you want to leave your present employer?
I want to leave my present employer because while I love them and I've learned so much from them, they are focused on the medical and chiropractic side, and I'm really looking to get into business and marketing.
Okay. What qualities or talents would you bring to this job?
I think that I bring a really great attitude, which honestly nowadays is a little bit harder to find, and one thing that my previous employers have mentioned is that that's something I'm able to bring every day, as well as my communication skills and being able to talk and work with everyone.
Okay. Why should we hire you over other finalists?
You should hire me over other finalists. One, because of my attitude, but also I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. If there's something I'm really passionate about, it's about moving forward.
Okay. Tell me about some of your accomplishments.
I would say some of my accomplishments are getting into this program at UTC, the Business LLC, and being able to work with people who are very difficult at times, but it can end in a very smooth manner.
Okay. What is your most important contribution to your last employer or current?
My most important contribution was probably bringing in a new organization system to the doctor's office that I worked at. Because I'm younger, and oftentimes when you're talking to people with PhDs or doctorates, while they are very smart, they're sometimes a little more narrow-minded, so when you bring in a new idea, it can be shot down very quickly. But this one was not, and it ended up working out.
Okay. How do you perform under deadline pressure? And please give an example.
I think I perform really well under deadline pressure. Oftentimes I just need to take a minute to breathe, and then I will slowly just start going down the list. An example of this is when we have a lot of walk-ins come in at the doctor's office, and we didn't have enough rooms or doctors all at that time. So we just made a game plan. We all got together and made a game plan, and just started going down the list to keep everything moving effectively and efficiently.
Great. How do you react to criticism?
I will say I used to not react to criticism very well, but after working for a few different people and being in different circumstances, I've come to realize that criticisms are only to improve and help. So that's how I've been able to take it.
Great. Describe a conflict or disagreement at work in which you were involved. How was it resolved?
A conflict was when a couple of different doctors were not agreeing upon one thing. So what I did, I was able to speak to both of the doctors as well as the patient and figure out what was best for the situation for everyone.
Great. What are two of the biggest problems you've encountered at your job, and how did you overcome them?
So as a nanny, one of the biggest problems was when the kids got into a fight, and I overcame that by separating them, talking to them individually, figuring out what the problem was, why the fight started, and then when we all came back together, it was calm, cool, and collected. And another problem at the doctor's office was when it was on a day we had a lot of walk-ins and we didn't have enough room or space or doctors. So what we ended up doing was converting part of the office that wasn't meant for the medical side, and we were able to put in all these different people to fit everyone in and just work our way around.
Okay, great. Think of a major crisis you faced at work and explain how you handled it.
So that was probably the biggest crisis I've ever faced at work. It was just being able to work and talk with people, and luckily, like, they were very flexible, but when people are willing and when you have a good attitude to present, it's so much easier to be able to work with them.
Yeah. Please give an example of a risk that you took at your job and how it turned out.
The biggest risk that I took was actually bringing in this new organization system, because I was 17 when I started working for them, and like I said earlier, these are people with doctorates and PhDs, so I had to come in knowing that it could very well be shot down. However, they enjoyed the idea and adapted to it, and so far they're still using the new organization system.
Great. What is your managerial style like?
I would say I have a very paternalistic managerial style. I want my employees and people to know that they are loved and supported and encouraged. However, I also want them to know that they need to have trust and loyalty within me and the company.
Have you ever hired any employees before?
I've not hired employees before.
Okay. What type of performance problems have you encountered in people who report to you, and how do you motivate them to improve?
So no one's ever reported to me before. However, when I do motivate people, I try to encourage them and let them know that they're supported and that I believe in them. And what I've noticed with that is when they see that someone else believes in them, they start to believe in themselves, and the difference is immeasurable.
Please describe a typical day at your present job.
So a typical day at my present job would be going into the doctor's office, checking emails, new patient paperwork, anything the doctors need me to do that they couldn't get to. I would also assist the doctor in appointments if need be. I would bring people back to rooms, and then towards the end of the day, I would start on billing.
Okay. What is a book you've read recently?
A book I've read recently is by Bob Goff, and it's called Everybody Always. It's about this man who has impacted so many lives from when he was a child to now in so many different positive aspects.
Okay. What do you see yourself doing 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I hope to be in a managerial position, selling or marketing a product that I really feel strongly about representing and that I think will improve everyone's life.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.